Two of the top teams in the VBL are set to take battle here tonight at CHO Airport Field here in Charlottesville as the Strasburg Express are taking on the Charlottesville Tom Sox. Hello and welcome to today's coverage of Tom Sox baseball. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Nathan Schwartz. And Nathan, this is a Tom Sox team that won its last 4 games, but that streak was snapped last week. And currently they're on a 2-game losing streak.
Yeah, it was a really rough weekend for Lyndon Coleman and this Tom Sox team. An 8-2 loss here at home on Saturday to Percival, and then traveling to Front Royal on Sunday against the Cardinals and falling in that game 9-6. And a big trend between those 2 games is just getting away from what we saw from them the first week and a half, which was getting runners on and then moving those runners into scoring position, playing small ball, and getting more runs across the plate. That was just missing over those 2 games over the weekend. Got a lot of runners on base, left 15 runners on base even in that loss on Saturday night, but just they couldn't get the big hit, and only 8 runs to show for it over those 2 games, and 3 of those 6 runs in Sunday's defeat came in the top of the 9th inning.
We talked about the offense being a non-factor for this Tom Sox team. You could also mention the bullpen. They've allowed 3 runs in the first 5 games of the year, 19 in the last 4.
Yeah, and that's just something you're going to have growing pains going through this summer league season. Guys coming in and out, guys on some pitch counts. But what we saw on Sunday especially was just giving the other team free passes. Davian Garcia in particular had a stretch where he entered the game with runners on second and third, walk, hit by pitch, grand slam. So if you're going to send these reliable arms out there, and Garcia had been one of those reliable arms in his first 2 appearances, just got to find ways to get outs. Can't be allowing 3 free passes and then the other team gets the big hit. You want to limit the other team getting the big hits and set yourself up with those opportunities when you come to the plate.
The bullpen will be key tonight for the Tom Sox, but before we go to the bullpen, let's preview our starting pitcher tonight. Aaron Bloom getting the start, his 2nd start of the year on the season so far. Pitched in 4 innings, allowed 4 hits to the tune of a 4.5 ERA. Leading things off tonight for the Express is the catcher, Ty Hooks. First pitch of the game, swung through and missed by Hooks, and we are underway here in Charlottesville.
Hooks has been a steady piece at the top of this Express lineup. He's hitting 300 so far in 6 games this season. This will be his 6th start. He's also knocked in 5 runs on the year so far.
Bloom comes set, his 0-1 pitch, couldn't find the corner. Count now even at 1-1.
You look at Aaron Bloom's stats. He only went 1 inning in his first appearance, but then got the start last Tuesday night here against Stanton. He went 3 innings, gave up 2 runs over 3 hits, and did strike out 4.
And that 1-1 pitch fouled out of play down the right field line, and Bloom now ahead in the count 1-2.
Quick look around the diamond for the Tom Sox. From left to right in the infield, it'll be Alex Boucher making his first start as a Tom Sox at third base, Kyle Edwards at short, Connor Hinks at second base, and Derek Williams at first.
The 1-2 pitch, low and in the dirt as Hinks lays off that one. Now the count is even at 2-2.
And take a look at the outfield as well. David Riley getting another start in left field. Justin Thomas, the everyday center fielder for the Tom Sox per usual. And then Hollis Porter moving from DH to right field. And Salvi Alvarez also making his Tom Sox debut behind home plate.
The 2-2 from Bloom. That one laced on the ground and into right field. That one played there by Hollis Porter as he quickly gets it into the infield. But leadoff single for Ty Hooks. And just like that, the Express are on base to lead things off.
You know, you rarely see a catcher in the leadoff spot, especially in the collegiate game. But looking at Ty Hooks' numbers throughout the first 6 games, he's appeared in 740 OPS, getting on base at a clip of 440, and then starting this game up with a single. You just don't see that very often from a catcher at this level.
Now digging in is the second baseman, Jaden Davis. Davis, this is his first game played this season. Attends Samford University, and Nathan put up some gaudy numbers there, hitting .359 this past season. Yo, pitch to him. That one low and inside for a ball, and he's now ahead in the count 1-0.
You want to talk about a guy that gets on base. Davis did that at an enormous rate. .451 on base percentage, 37 walks, 9 homers, 38 RBI, 13 doubles. He did it all this year with Samford.
Bloom now his 1-0 pitch. That one lined well out of play for a ball, or for a foul ball.
Ball was sponsored by Taylor's Auto Body.
You mentioned Davis, though, his big season, his freshman season there, and look for him to have a big impact. Mentioned this is his first game of the year. Now he's on with a big spot as the 1-1 pitch finds the inside corner. Now Bloom's in the driver's seat, up 1-2. Bloom now gets the sign from his catcher Alvarez, deals the 1-2 pitch. That one well outside. Now the count even at 2 apiece.
There's been some consistency in this lineup and defensively for the past couple of games now, but now you're adding in 3 new pieces. You have Williams at first base, Boucher at third.
The 2-2 pitch, that one skied in right field. Backtracking is the right fielder Hollis Porter. That will get down over his head as Davis taking the turn for second base. Hooks is in there at third base, and just like that, the Express have their first 2 hitters on to lead off the contest.
That's a nice way to start your season if you're Jaden Davis. 2-strike approach, get a pitch on the outside part of the plate, get that foot down early, see it out of the hand. It was a change-up, tailing a little bit off the outer edge of the plate, and Davis drives it over the head of Porter, who has played in the outfield with the Tom Sox this year, but it's been about a week and a half since he's gotten some time out there in right. He's been at first base and DH, so might have not gotten as good of a read off it off the bat as maybe David Wiley would have gotten if he was in right field. So a really good opportunity for the Express to start this game.
And before the next batter digs in, head coach Lyndon Coleman out to the mound to talk to his starting pitcher, Aaron Bloom. And Nathan, you mentioned all the new faces in the infield for this Tom Sox team, one of those being catcher Salvi Alvarez. What is it like between a pitcher and catcher trying to get on the same page?
Well, the battery mate is everything between the pitcher and the catcher. You got to have some comfort level there. The catcher has to know everything about the pitcher, so it's really tough, especially in summer ball where you have a revolving door of guys coming in, revolving door of pitchers, revolving door of guys behind the plate as well. This is going to be the 3rd catcher used by the Tom Sox, and this is just game number 10. And Bloom's thrown to Alexander, he's thrown to Bennett, but now this is going to be the first time he's thrown to Alvarez, and it's in a game setting, so it's probably going to take some time for the two to get on the same page.
Now digging in is the 3-hole hitter Yohander Irigoyen. The first pitch to him, that one misses for a ball. Irigoyen on the season, his 9th game played, hitting .345 with 6 RBIs. Bloom now comes set, deals his 1-0 pitch. Once again, couldn't find the outside corner, and Irigoyen's in the driver's seat up 2-0.
Irigoyen's not afraid to spray the gaps either. Gap-to-gap guy, really sprays the ball all over the field. Has 5 doubles to begin the season, and a guy that didn't play at all at Seminole State this season and didn't play in the Express's last game on Sunday.
Irigoyen waves through the fastball there by Bloom. A big swing on the 2-0 count.
He's got an OPS of .881 coming into this game, .517 slugging percentage, .364 on base, so he's not really doing a whole lot to get on other than getting a base hit.
The 2-1 pitch, that one jams him, and he goes around on the check swing there, and a nice pitch by Aaron Bloom to even the count at 2-2.
Really the first time he's tested somebody with that fastball on the inside part of the plate. I think Irigoyen was expecting him to stay on that outside part of the plate and make him go the other way to beat him, but he tested him and it worked out.
Bloom looking for the first out of this inning. Goes with the off-speed pitch. That one, Irigoyen bouncing out of the way, and now the count runs full.
Going back to the battery mate conversation we had a couple minutes ago, this is the first time Salvi Alvarez is going to get some game action. He didn't play at all with the Florida Gators, wasn't on the travel roster as the Gators are going to Omaha this weekend to play, so here he is getting his first action this spring.
The full count pitch, that one popped up in the infield. Under it is the shortstop, Kyle Edwards, and he puts it away for a big first out of the inning.
That's exactly what you want to do if you're Aaron Bloom. You give up the hard single to start, you give up the deep double into right field, and then you come back, work a deep count to Irigoyen, who has a lot of power, but then get him elevated with that heater, and he popped it right up. That's exactly what you want to do with locating that pitch with 2 strikes. Don't leave it to where he's going to be able to drive it into the gap, which is what he's been doing so well, and now you just move down the line and try and force another pop-up or a strikeout right here. You want to keep those runners where they're at.
The job doesn't get much easier here for Aaron Bloom as Mitchell Smith digs in. Once again, another fly ball. Tracking in is the center fielder, Justin Thomas. His throw to the plate gets cut off. And the runner from third, Hooks, does not come in, just tested and made Thomas the throw in. So 2 quick outs there for Aaron Bloom.
And that's the strategy, right? You want to do exactly that, a shallow fly ball. He got the pop-up the previous pitch. There was good contact for Smith, just got under it a little bit, and Thomas was able to come in. Hooks has plenty of speed over there on third base, just wasn't deep enough to where you could test the arm of Thomas.
Now it's the lefty, Jacob Friend, digging in here. A big spot with 2 runners in scoring position and 2 out now. Bloom comes set and deals the 0-0 pitch. That one in there for a strike as he gets the first pitch in there.
Friend's been red hot at the plate lately for Strasburg. Was 3 for 4 on Sunday against Waynesboro. Had a triple, 3 RBI. Swiped the bag. Also was hit by a pitch. He's hitting .350 over 6 games to begin his season here in the Valley League.
Next pitch to him, chopped on the ground, fielded there by the third baseman, Boucher. Makes a throw over to first base, and just like that, Aaron Bloom with his best Houdini act to get out of the first inning, stranding 2 runners in scoring position. We head to the bottom of the first inning with Strasburg and Charlottesville tied up at 0.
Coming to bat.
After Aaron Bloom worked out of a 2-runner jam in the top of the first, the Charlottesville Tom Sox are geared up to start things off here in the bottom of the first, and leading things off is the center fielder, Justin Thomas. Thomas on the season, played in 8 games, hitting .212. First pitch from the starter, Matt Dickey. That one chopped on the ground, fielded by the third baseman, O'Shaughnessy. Makes a long throw over to first base, and just like that, Justin Thomas is retired after 1 pitch.
Yeah, Thomas has the prototypical leadoff hitter
from the
size and the numbers on paper, but when you look at his numbers so far this year, just .212. He's very aggressive at the plate, but really just hasn't been getting on base enough to warrant staying in that leadoff spot.
Now it's Josh Tate who fakes the bunt attempt, pulls back, and Dickey's pitch is in there for a ball.
Dickey this year with Emmanuel College, .458 ERA over 53 innings of work.
His second pitch once again misses for a ball, and Tate up in the count 2-0. Josh Tate had his 7-game hit streak snapped against Front Royal on Sunday. Dickey's 2-0 pitch. That one couldn't find the strike zone, and Josh Tate is up 3-0.
Dickey works very quickly, gets the sign, and immediately goes to the plate, wasting no time in between pitches.
Dickey gets a sign from Hooks. His 3-0 pitch right down Main Street. Tate taking all the way.
Looking at the numbers, he's gone 5 innings in each of his 2 starts so far. Only 2 runs given up. He has given up some hits, 9 over those 10 innings.
3-1 pitch to Tate. That one runs inside and plunks him, and Josh Tate take the stroll down to first base after the hit by pitch.
You mentioned that hitting streak and on-base streak came to an end, but starting another one right there, getting the first runner on. He leads the team in hits, leads the team in stolen bases, had a .400 on-base percentage going into that at-bat, and now Tom Sox have their first base runner tonight for the new guy.
Just like you mentioned, the new guy digging in, Derek Williams making his Charlottesville debut. Williams out of Florida Southwestern. Dickey, his first pitch, Tate off for second base, the throw down. And they're going to say that he's out. A beautiful throw there by the catcher, Ty Hooks, to nail Josh Tate for the first out, or for the second out of the inning, rather.
Just mentioned how Tate led the team in stolen base. He got a pretty good jump on that, but the throw by Hooks was even better. Perfectly placed into the glove of the shortstop, Pfeiffer. Tag was applied perfectly on the upper part of the body, so very clear for the second base umpire to see the tag, and just like that, 2 away.
Now Derek Williams digs in, and he's up in the count 2-0, and talked about having runners on base for the new guy, and just like that, an excellent throw, and just the second time all season the Tom Sox have been thrown out stealing. Dickey now deals his 2-0 pitch. That one in there for a strike.
It's been a couple weeks since Williams gotten some live ABs in a game setting, so we'll see if he's able to find some success here in at-bat number 1 of his Tom Sox season.
Williams playing first base tonight as he watches the next pitch go over for a strike, and after once being up at the count 2-0, count now even at 2-2. Dickey working out of the windup, his 2-2 pitch fouled off down the first base line and out of play.
That foul ball was sponsored by
Looking at his numbers with Florida Southwestern State, and he absolutely raked this year. .322 average, .695 in the slugging department, 16 homers, 65 runs driven in, and tacked on 18 doubles as well.
Williams, a much-needed power boost to a Charlottesville team that has only hit 3 home runs this year, as the 2-2 pitch runs inside for a ball, and Williams works the count to a full count. Dickey trying to have a 1-2-3 inning here. His full count offering. That one skied out into short right field. Tracking in is the right fielder, Friend. He puts that away. And just like that, the Tom Sox go 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the first as we head to the top of the second with these two teams even at 0. Aaron Bloom out to start inning number 2 here in Charlottesville, leading things
for
off
Strasburg,
for Strasburg, the center fielder, Joe De Los Santos.
De Los Santos started 54 of the 55 games he played with William & Mary this year. 8 homers, 43 RBI, 273 average, and hitting 240 over 6 starts with the Express this season.
Bloom's first pitch misses outside for a ball, and De Los Santos ahead on the count 1-0.
Just going back to that first inning, how about the job done by Bloom to work out of trouble? Single and double to start the game. Runners on second and third with nobody out. Gets the pop out, the weak fly ball into center, and then the soft grounder to end the inning. That's how you work out of a jam and keep your team in this ball game early.
Masterful pitching in the first inning from Aaron Bloom. Let's see if he can do it again here in inning number 2. His 2-0 pitch. At 1, it misses high for a ball, and De Los Santos seen 3 straight balls to open up inning number 2. Nathan, this is a guy that has played in the Valley League 2 prior seasons coming into this and has raked against Charlottesville in the past. Last summer, hit .473 as he draws a 4-pitch walk. Hit .473 with 3 homers in 6 games last year against Charlottesville.
And sometimes you just have that one team that you just see the ball really well, whether it's at your own park or at their park. And De Los Santos is that guy for this Tom Sox team that they're going to have to keep an eye on over the 4-game stretch this season.
That is definitely right. Now digging in, third baseman Michael O'Shaughnessy. Lefty on lefty matchup here. Bloom now deals his 0-0 pitch, misses low and in the dirt.
You're not going to see Bloom walk too many hitters. Only had 1 walk over 5 innings of work coming into this inning, and really he's done a good job of limiting base runners. Opponents hitting .250 against him to begin this season, but only 4 hits given up coming in, so now that's up to 6 through 5 innings and only 2 runs. So he's done a nice job if he does allow base runners to work out of trouble like he did in that first.
Bloom checks over on De Los Santos, his 1-0 pitch. That one in there for a strike. Count is now even at 1-1. De Los Santos does have some speed off first base. 2 swiped bags on the year. Could be a threat to run here. On Salvi Alvarez, who's making his Tom Sock debut. De Los Santos fakes taking off there. Bloom's 1-1 pitch outside for a ball. O'Shaughnessy on the year in 4 games played, hitting .176 with 1 run scored and just 3 hits and 17 at-bats. Bloom's 2-1 pitch, that one fouled right back behind home plate, and the count is even at 2-2.
Yeah, not a whole lot of guys struggling to begin this season in the starting lineup for Strasburg. You have nobody hitting under 200 except for O'Shaughnessy, in the lowest average other than O'Shaughnessy was De Los Santos at 240.
This Strasburg team definitely brings out the bats as another move for De Los Santos. And even a guy off their bench, Victor Castillo, not playing tonight, hitting .379.
It's like we were reading minds. I was just about to bring that up, but yeah, Castillo was 3 for 4 on Sunday.
Bloom pickoff move. Now they have De Los Santos in a jam. Now it's with Kyle Edwards, and he easily applies the tag on De Los Santos. So an excellent pickoff move there by Aaron Bloom for the first out here in the top of the second.
Running on a lefty can be so difficult sometimes. You have to make sure that leg goes towards the plate, and it was just one of those scenarios where he brings the leg up. He was going no matter what, and Bloom was able to see that out of that peripheral vision, throw over to Williams at first. And they almost lost him. That double clutch for Williams almost allowed De Los Santos to reach second base, but they were able to get the job done.
The 2-2 from Bloom, that one outside and in the dirt for a ball. O'Shaughnessy works the count full. It was a good job by the Tom Sox defense, though. And that's something that they've really done well this year, is playing defense, really not making a whole lot of errors, and just a nice connection there between Williams and Edwards, as now Bloom loses O'Shaughnessy. So after the leadoff walk to De Los Santos, O'Shaughnessy makes it 2 consecutive walks for the lefty.
And going back to that defense comment you made, only 4 errors so far for Charlottesville this season over the first 9 games. So they've been about as sound as you can be defensively, and they lead the Valley League in fielding percentage right now at .983.
Talked about a lot of hot hitters in this Strasburg lineup, and here's one as Logan Vaughn digging in. The first pitch to him in there for a strike. Vaughn coming in today, hitting 400 in 10 at-bats, has 2 doubles, 4 RBIs, and has drawn 6 walks. Really doing a little bit of everything for this Express squad. The 0-1 pitch from Bloom. That one runs too far inside, and now the count is even at 1-1.
A lot of that production came on Sunday when Strasburg hosted Waynesboro. He was 4 for 5 in that game alone with 2 doubles and 4 RBI. So those season stats where he had 2 double and 4 RBI all came on Sunday.
Hey, sometimes all it takes is one good game and turns your season around there as Vaughn watches the next pitch come in. Count is now 2-1.
One appearance can really skew the numbers one way or another, and for Vaughn, it really put him in the right direction.
The next pitch from Bloom, that one lined hard down the third base line and foul.
Just a reminder, fans, bats and balls leaving the playing field can be dangerous. For your safety, please remain alert at all times.
Vaughn, one of 3 catchers for this Express team. Got guys like Ty Hooks, Jacob Friend, Logan Vaughn, all playing tonight. So a lot of versatility for this Strasburg team. The 2-2 pitch from Bloom, that one bounces in the dirt. A nice block by the catcher Alvarez to keep O'Shaughnessy at bay over there on first base.
A lot of versatility on this Tom Sox team as well. Wiley's played both corner outfield spots. Edwards can play really second, short, or third. Boucher might get some starts at short this time as well.
The 3-2 pitch, that one fouled out of play. So we'll do the full count once more.
You got guys like Hollis Porter as well, who's played first, right field, and DH. Connor Hanks didn't even know he could play second base before we read the lineup card today. He's been at both corner infield spots to begin this season. So really just plug and play for Lyndon Coleman and company.
The 3-2 pitch from Bloom, that one skied out of play once again. Nice battle brewing here between Vaughn and Bloom.
Sponsored by Taylor's Auto Body.
Having that versatility, though, like you mentioned, that really helps any collegiate manager here. Is you have a lot of different options, and there's a lot of guys on this Tom Sock team. So if you can play, and if guys can play multiple spots, offers you to play more. 3-2 pitch, that one chopped on the ground to Hinks. He goes to second, over to Edwards at short, fires over to first base, and just like that, the Tom Sox turn to a beautiful connection between Hinks and Edwards, and just like that, Aaron Bloom gets out of inning number 2. We head to the bottom of the second with these two squads tied up at 0.
Tom Sox, the right fielder from
Hollis
Mississippi
Porter
State
set to lead
Unified.
things
Hollis
off here
Porter.
in the bottom of the second for the Tom Sox. And after an eventful first 2 innings for the Express, Charlottesville's bats we're going to pick things up here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, the Express have had 2 really good opportunities. Had the 2 runners in scoring position in the top half of the first inning, and then you get the leadoff man on, then you get the pickoff, and then another walk, and then the double play. So it's been a really nice job by Aaron Bloom to get out of that trouble, and it seems that the bad luck that the Tom Sox had over the weekend may be rubbing off a little bit on the Express after they blew out their opponent on Sunday.
Dickey's 1-0 pitch, that one chopped on the ground, fielded easily by the first baseman Smith. Takes it to the bag for a 3 unassisted, and Hollis Porter is retired after just 2 pitches.
Now, Hollis has done a really nice job getting on base. Has a 7-game on base streak, 442 on base percentage coming into the game over all 9 games this season for the Tom Sox, but the hits really haven't been there, hitting just 273 so far.
Now it's one of the other new guys for the Charlottesville Tom Sox, Alex Boucher, as he watches the first pitch from Dickey miss outside for a ball. Boucher attends Old Dominion, same as starting shortstop Kyle Edwards. That one is laced in the left center field gap, and it gets down. Boucher takes a wide turn around first base. He will hold up, and stumbling to get back to the bag, the throw is in time for the out. Alex Boucher just goes too far around first base, and the throw in there from Pfeiffer gets him back at first base.
Well, it looked like a double off the bat. A little bit of high grass out there. Took a top towards the center fielder, De Los Santos, so it came right into his angle as he was charging towards the ball in the gap. And Lyndon Coleman told Boucher to go to second base, and Boucher got the read that he was likely going to get hosed at second base and decided to retreat, but a nice throw by the shortstop Pfeiffer for that second out.
And just like that, here's out number 3 as Connor Hinks skies one into left field. Putting it away is the left fielder Irigoyen, and a quick 1-2-3 inning for Matt Dickey as we head to the top of the third. Still tied up at 0. This is Tom Sox Baseball right here on Tom Sox TV. The pitcher's duel here in the first 2 innings here in Charlottesville. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Nathan Schwartz, and always good to be back in the booth.
Absolutely. Dynamic duo here for the Tom Sox media team.
Definitely bringing back the dynamic duo. 2 Big Ten schools as a first pitch to Wyatt Pfeiffer, laced down the third base line, but just foul.
It's really been a game of missed opportunities so far, Alex, when you look at it. And you talked about it for Strasburg, but then looking back for the Tom Sox, had the hit by pitch for Josh Tate with one to put him on with one out, and then he gets caught stealing. And then in the second inning, have another prime position with Boucher getting his first hit in a Tom Sox uniform, and then he gets picked off in between going to first and second base. Just got a little too wide of a turn going around first. So you look at both sides, and both teams really could have a run or two on the board right now, but we're sitting at a scoreless game heading into this third inning.
Missed opportunities early, and Aaron Bloom now down on the count 2-1 after 2 consecutive balls. And those little mistakes can definitely add up, whether it's turning too far off the bag or getting thrown out on the base paths. It's all those little things that we talked about pregame that come back to bite you. As the 2-1 pitch, that one finds the inside part of the plate. The count is now even at 2-2.
Baseball is a game of inches. You're going to get a lot of those plays that happen throughout the course of the season, but a lot of them have stacked up here in this first 2 innings.
Bloom gets set, deals his 2-2 pitch. That one misses high. Pfeiffer works it full. Wyatt Pfeiffer attends James Madison. Is hitting .263 this season through 8 games. The 3-2 pitch to Pfeiffer. That one skied behind home plate. Alvarez giving a look, and that one will land right in front of us, right in the bleachers.
Yeah, it came a little close. It's really unlikely that a ball is going to crash the windows in front of us here. Just we're stacked a little lower behind the fence, and we're pretty close to home plate. So we're not going to get a ball, but we can dream of reaching our hand out the window and getting one.
It would be really cool if we could snag a fly ball. The second 3-2 offering, that one chopped on the ground, fielded by Kyle Edwards. The long throw over to first base, that one bounces and gets past the first baseman. In Williams, taking off for second is Pfeiffer. He's in there, diving head first. The throw from Williams goes into left field, but easily backed up there by Wiley. And a circus play leads to Wyatt Pfeiffer standing on second base with no out.
Yeah, definitely going to be an infield single, and then the throwing error by Edwards.
The catcher, number 11, Ty Hooks.
That's exactly what you have to do if you're Pfeiffer. Put the ball in play, found the hole between the 6 and the 5 with Boucher and Edwards, and then forced the long throw. And Williams, a traditional outfielder at Florida Southwestern, getting the nod at first base tonight, just got caught up in between on the hop, and it went all the way to the fence.
Now the Express go back to the top of their order. Leading things off, Ty Hooks. Hooks singled to start off the game. Eventually reached third, but wouldn't come around to score after Aaron Bloom worked out of a 2-on jam with just no outs. Bloom now gets set, deals his 0-1 pitch, goes with the off-speed pitch. That one misses inside.
Really hasn't found the zone with that slider yet. He's gone down and in a lot with it, and other times he's just lost the grip on it, and we've seen it go up and away. Want to see him definitely dial in that slider.
The 1-1 from Bloom. Heater misses outside. Really having a tough time locating. It seems like these Express hitters are working deep in accounts and seeing a lot of pitches from Bloom early on. Pfeiffer on second. Bloom gets a sign from his catcher, Alvarez, deals the 2-1. That one skied in right field. Tracking it is the right fielder, Hollis Porter. He catches it. Tagging from second is Pfeiffer. Porter's throw gets away from the third baseman, Boucher, but he keeps it in front of him. So Pfeiffer stays at third base. Ty Hooks out with a sacrifice fly as he's set down for the first out here in the top of the third.
Aggressive base running. Pfeiffer almost rounded third and trekked for home when that ball bounced in front of Boucher and kind of got down the line a little bit. But now a similar spot for the Express that they've had in that first inning when Hooks was on third base with nobody out. Now you have a runner on third with one out in the meat of your lineup coming up. If you're Strasburg, you got to find a way to get this runner home.
Top Sox will bring the corners in as this one chopped right at the middle, fielded off the glove of Bloom. Bounces right to Connor Hinks at second base, who retires Jaden Davis. Coming in to score for the first run of the game is Wyatt Pfeiffer. So scored an RBI ground out for Jaden Davis, and Strasburg is up 1-0.
Batting for Strasburg, the left fielder.
And it would have been a way to keep that runner at third base if Bloom was able to glove that. It was right to his glove side. He was square on the plant, and then just off the end of the glove would have been a nice way to get the 1-3 and keep that runner at third. But going off the glove, luckily it went right to Hinks at second, so they were still able to get one out. And there's that first run of the game. We've had a lot of chances. Finally got it here in the top of the third.
Now digging in, Johander Irigoyen as he waves through a first pitch fastball from Bloom. And just before that pitch, you were talking about the missed opportunities early in this game and leaving runners on base. That was a big theme for Charlottesville in their last two losses, and it's the Express capitalizing here. Bloom now checking in. It gets a sign from his catcher, Alvarez. Deals that one skied out of play.
That foul ball was sponsored by Carter Bank and Trust.
Irigoyen popped up and was the first out that Bloom retired in that first inning. That was a massive out to get. As we talked, Irigoyen, one of the top hitters in the VBL, coming into tonight, hitting .345, 5 doubles, 6 RBIs. Really displaying a lot of power early on.
Someone that didn't really play a lot this year collegiately in his freshman season. It's always nice to see them settle in and find a groove and try and prove themselves, whether that be to their college coaches back at their school or whether they're entering the transfer portal and trying to get some looks because they didn't get a lot of ABs. That's what is so great about not only the VBL but summer leagues in general, is giving guys the chance to grow their game, get more looks, and get different eyes on them, and just to settle into a groove that they might not have been able to get in the months of February, March, April, and May.
Bloom gets a sign now from Alvarez, the 2-2 pitch incoming here. Got him swinging. A big strikeout there from Aaron Bloom, but not before the Express tack across the first run of the game after a RBI ground out there from Jaden Davis as we head to the bottom of the third with Charlottesville trailing 1-0. Stay tuned for more Tom Sox baseball right here.
Leading off for your Tom Sox from Wofford, the left fielder, number 19,
David Wiley digging in to start off inning number 3 here against Matt Dickey, who has looked really solid so far in his first 2 innings of work, going 1, 2, 3 in both of those innings, as the first pitch from Dickey waved through by Wiley.
And Wiley's been a nice addition to this lineup. He's reached base in all 3 games he's played, hitting .300, 3 for 10 to start his season, has driven in a run.
Wiley pops this one. Backtracking is the third baseman. Gets called off by the shortstop, Wyatt Pfeiffer. And David Wiley is retired on a 2-pitch pop-up.
Another trend that's been coming to the surface the past couple of games is just these slow starts for Charlottesville. Maybe getting a run here or there in the first couple innings, but it's similar today where they really just haven't gotten that much production the first time through the lineup. And whether that's seeing a new guy for the first time or whether it's just not putting enough together quality at bats back to back to back, it has been a little bit of a concern that a lot of the Tom Sox runs have come late in their games.
Digging in now is the catcher, Salvi Alvarez, his first plate appearance here in Charlottesville. Alvarez attends Florida. See, it watches the 1-0 pitch outside for a ball.
He didn't play it all this year with Florida, but was a heavily rated recruit coming out of high school. He was rated the number 7 catcher in Florida by Perfect Game and was the 61st overall player in the class of 2022 by Perfect Game as well.
3 straight balls from Dickey to Alvarez has him up in the count 3-0. Talked about him as a recruit. He hit .526 in his senior year of high school. Dickey's 3-0 pitch right down Broadway as Alvarez was taking all the way. But in his senior season, hit .526, 2 triples, 4 doubles with 25 RBIs and even some speed from the catcher spot with 11 stolen bases. Alvarez lines this 3-1 pitch into right field, and the right fielder friend falls down. Alvarez takes the wide turn around first base. He will head for second. He's taking off for third now. Salvi Alvarez in there with a 1-out triple here in the bottom of the third.
How about the son helping out Friend out there, or not helping out Friend, I should say, helping out Alvarez right there. Looked like it was going to be a routine fly out for Alvarez, but with the sun and then the trip for Friend out there and right, Alvarez gets all the way to third base. And you mentioned the speed. A lot of the guys, that might only be a double, but Alvarez has that speed, was able to get 3 bags out of it.
Well, Nathan, I don't think you're going to like me after this pun that I make, but you could say that the sun was not Jacob's friend. Get it?
Oh, that was bad.
I had to.
That was really bad.
Next batter is the shortstop, Kyle Edwards. This is the first pitch to him. Catches the inside corner for a strike. Hey, I had to apologize first, so. The 0-1 to Edwards misses high for a ball. Edwards in a big spot here with Alvarez standing 90 feet away from tying this game up at 1.
Yeah, I had a feeling something like that was coming, but I didn't think you were actually going to do that, but, you know.
You got to keep it punny sometimes. Yeah. The 1-1 pitch, that one fouled behind home plate. As Alvarez was taking off, he thought that one was a wild pitch, but Edwards made contact, rolls right back to the fence.
He was ready. He was ready to go. I mean, it is kind of hard to tell if I didn't have the angle behind home plate to see the ball kind of veer off to the right a little bit. I would have thought from third base that was just a pass ball as well.
Showing off the speed, though, here. The 1-2 from Dickey. Misses outside for a ball. Edwards works the count to 2-2.
In the first game action, as I mentioned, for Alvarez, so the fact he's able to make a trip around the bases here in his first AB and then potentially get home as well. Good start for him as a Tom Sock.
The 2-2 from Dickey, fouled right back into the fence. Nice swing there from Edwards to keep this at-bat alive.
Old Dominion teammates getting together in the lineup today. We saw Boucher. He got a lot of time at the shortstop position this year with Old Dominion. Edwards also saw time at shortstop with ODU as well as left field.
Continuing that trend of versatility, the 2-2 pitch. Once again, Dickey can't find the outside corner, and Edwards has worked it full. That triple by Alvarez, the first triple allowed by Matt Dickey this season. Just the second extra base hit allowed as well. Edwards pops this one up, and that one will almost get out of play, but that will be caught by the first baseman, Smith. That one was nearly out of play there, but a good job by the first baseman in Smith, showing off his range and putting away the pop-up for the second out of the inning.
Kyle's really just had some bad luck as of late. A lot of hard contact, but he's hitting it right at guys, and then something like that where that ball usually gets out of play, but just hangs in there, and the first baseman, Smith, able to range over and make the play. And you don't want to let this opportunity go to waste with Alvarez on third and just the 1 out.
Well, we talked about runners in scoring position a lot, and Charlottesville left 15 runners in scoring position in Saturday's contest, so this is not a new trend for them, getting runners in scoring position, but just unable to cash it in. We see the umpires come in and talking about something. Head coach Lyndon Coleman brought something up to their attention here.
Maybe if that ball was out of play, possibly. I didn't get a good look at it.
It was close to behind the dugout there, so this could be a discussion that could definitely favor the Tom Sox here, as that ball was nearly out of play, but a nice catch by the first baseman in Mitchell Smith.
It looks like they're just going to stick with the call on the field. Kind of hard to tell. You do have the home plate umpire down the line with the best view. The second base umpire really isn't going to have that good of a view from his spot, especially with his positioning with the runner in scoring position.
So Kyle Edwards officially ruled a pop-up to the first baseman. That brings up Justin Thomas, the leadoff hitter. Grounded out to start things off in the bottom of the first. Now up in a big spot here with Alvarez still standing 90 feet away. The first pitch from Dickey, low and in the dirt for a ball.
Thomas had a really nice piece of hitting on Sunday at Front Royal. Just missed a home run by about 10 feet. A little bit of an elevated wall with some netting out there beyond the left field fence in Front Royal, and it hit the netting. Would have been gone if there was no netting there, obviously. Got over a high wall, but resulted in an RBI double.
The 2-0 from Dickey to Thomas. That one misses for a ball. Thomas now ahead on the count 3-0, and while the average might not be where he wants it coming into tonight's contest at 212, he's reached base in every game and is the only Tom Sock to do so, and that streak continues here as he draws a 4-pitch walk and trots down to first base, keeping this inning alive now with runners on the corners.
Find a way to get Josh Tate up to the plate. That's exactly what you got to do if you're Justin Thomas. Find a way to get on and keep the train moving. Find the next guy in the lineup that's going to produce, and Josh Tate could not be a better guy for the job. 294 average so far this season, leads the team in hits, as I mentioned, and he's got 5 RBI, looking to make it 6 right here with Alvarez on third base.
Runners on the corners. It's Thomas on first, Alvarez on third. The 0-0 from Dickey to Tate. That one chopped on the ground, but foul. Thomas could be a threat to run here. Has 8 stolen bases, has yet to be caught so far in the summer campaign. Josh Tate was hit by a pitch in the first inning and was thrown out, stealing the first time he's been thrown out this year. Just the second so far for Charlottesville. Dickey attempts a pickoff move back to Smith at first base. Thomas is in there in time. Dickey gets a sign from his catcher, Hooks. Now comes home. Thomas taking off on the pitch. He gets in there without a throw, and the Tom Sox have runners in scoring position with 2 outs.
And that's exactly what Lyndon Coleman means when he says take what the defense gives you. They're not going to cover the bag. They're definitely not going to throw down, which would allow Alvarez to come home to score. So if you're able to get that runner into scoring position, you have to take the opportunity.
The 1-1 from Dickey. Tried to go for the outside corner, unable to nab it. Now Tate ahead on the count, 2-1. Josh Tate's had a lot of big moments for the Tom Sox early on this season. Has driven in 5 runs. Could make it 6 and 7 here. Dickey's 2-1 pitch. That one chopped on the ground and just barely foul. I mean, Nathan, you talked about baseball being a game of inches. That one hard hit down the third base line, but just moves foul.
Yeah, you never know on a play like that. The third baseman could get to it in fair territory, but that's a really long throw from deep third base, edge of the infield almost, all the way across to first base. And with a guy like Tate's speed, he probably beats out that throw, and Alvarez comes home to score.
The Express lead 1-0 here. 2-2 count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. 2 runners on here for the Tom Sox. Dickey deals a 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Matt Dickey fired up after the strikeout of Josh Tate as he strands two, and the Express still lead 1-0. The Tom Sox unable to scratch across runs here in the bottom of the third as they still trail 1-0 as we head to the top of the fourth inning. Stay tuned for more right here on Tom Sox TV.
All right, man.
Head coach Lyndon Coleman goes to his bullpen to start off the top of the fourth inning as Aaron Bloom's night is done, and welcome in Mike Eggert. Eggert on the season, just his second appearance on the year. Nathan, what else do you have for us on the new arm?
Yeah, Eggert returning obviously was really successful with Tom Sox last year, 10 innings of work, and now making his second appearance here in 2023. Went 2 innings against Purcellville on Saturday. Didn't give up any base runners. Retired all 6 batters he faced, including 2 strikeouts. And now going to try and preserve just this 1-run deficit for the Tom Sox in this 4th inning.
Eggert's first pitch in there to the first baseman, Mitchell Smith. Low for a ball. 1-0 from Eggert. That one popped up down the first base line. Tracking it is the first baseman, Williams. He puts it away for a 2-pitch pop-up and the first out of the 4th inning.
Make that 7 in a row retired by Eggert to start his 2023 Tom Sox campaign. And now he's facing our friend, Jacob Friend.
Glad someone's putting respect on the puns.
I mean, you know I didn't like the first one, but if I'm going to make it, it's going to be a good one.
Hey,
that wasn't a good one, but
I liked mine as Friend waves through the 0-1 pitch from Eggert. Felt inspired, made a big pun.
Sure.
Eggert's 0-1 pitch outside for a ball.
I'm sure we're not the only two to use that, as I'm sure plenty of broadcasters have incorporated the last name into their calls in the past.
To the 1-1 from Eggert, goes with the off-speed pitch, misses for a ball. Eggert working out of the windup here. Now deals the 2-1 pitch. That one runs inside and low for a ball, and Jacob Friend ahead in the count, 3-1.
Friend grounded out to Boucher over at third his last time up.
Friend chops this one on the ground, and that one gets foul and over the fence down the first base line. The 3-2 pitch upcoming here. 1 out in the top of the 4th. Strasburg still leads 1-0 after the RBI ground out by Jaden Davis. The 3-2 from Eggert. That one just misses high for a ball, and Jacob Friend works a 1-out walk.
And some confusion as to whether he went around or not, but left-handed batter only had the first base umpire, and he's not going to be able to tell likely whether or not he went around or not. So Friend moves over to first base for De Los Santos.
Digging in is Joe De Los Santos. He walked and was picked off by Aaron Bloom in the second inning, as Eggert goes with a breaking pitch that didn't really break too much and misses for a ball. De Los Santos, his third year in the VBL, last year finished fourth in the league in slugging, as Eggert working carefully to the power hitter. That one misses for a ball. But De Los Santos finished fourth in slugging percentage and already has a 2-home run game this season. There's only 2 dingers on the season. The 2-0 from Eggert, that one popped deep into center field. There, putting it away is the center fielder, Justin Thomas, for the second out here in the top of the fourth.
De Los Santos, a guy that puts the ball in play a lot. 921 OPS, whether he's getting on base or just putting that ball in play. Getting quality at-bats. Does it a lot, but just got under that one. Deep fly to center field, gets a little less lift on that. It's probably going to fall into center field for a base hit.
Now it's the third baseman, Michael O'Shaughnessy, digging in with 2 outs, as this one's skied well out of play for a first pitch foul ball.
Sponsored by Taylor's Auto Body.
O'Shaughnessy walked in the second inning. Was stranded on first base after the 4-6-3 double play to end inning number 2. Eggert's 0-1 pitch outside and in the dirt for a ball.
Shaughnessy against Waynesboro on Sunday was 1 for 5 with an RBI, just one of his 3 hits on the season, and that was his lone RBI.
Struggled so far in 4 games, as Eggert pounds the strike zone there and is 1 strike away from getting out of the inning.
But he did have a lot of success at Davidson this year. Hit 306, slugged 506, got on base at a 453 clip, 34 walks, 10 homers. So this is a guy that if he gets going, he's going to be very hot.
And once again, the Express is in a jam here, but it's Friend who makes it into second base here, as the throw from Williams bounces past Kyle Edwards at shortstop and into left field. And we've seen this twice from the Express. They're very antsy on the base pass, and Jacob Friend got a big jump and took off for it.
Yeah, what we've seen from the Tom Sox being aggressive, the Express have been just as aggressive, if not more aggressive so far. You had De Los Santos in that second inning trying swipe second base, and now Eggert nearly had Friend, but Friend was able to get in there. Now it might be a little bit shaken up, looking at over at second base.
Yeah, glance toward his hand there instantly when he dove back into the bag, and Jacob Friend, despite the losing the triple in the lights from Salvi Alvarez, has really had a good season so far, hitting .350, and if he is banged up, would be a big loss for this Strasburg team, but appears to be all good and is standing on second base here with 2 outs and the count still at 1-2.
Couldn't tell whether the throw hit him on the hand coming from Williams at first base, or he just hit it awkwardly going into the head first slide into second base, but he'll remain in the ball game.
Eggert now still looking for that third strike is the 1-2 pitch. That one skied into left field. Backtracking is the left fielder David Wiley, and he makes the catch for the third out of the inning. Mike Eggert strands Jacob Friend out on second base as we head to the bottom of the fourth inning with the Tom Sox still down 1-0.
Leading off for your Tom Sox,
Matt
the
Dickey
first
out
baseman,
for
number
inning number 4 here in
20,
Charlottesville.
Williams.
I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Nathan Schwartz. And starting things off for the Tom Sox is the first baseman, Derek Williams.
Looking for that power to come out here. Talked about this a lot this season, but you know, Alex, I love to see some offense, love to see the long ball. Haven't had a home run hit out here at CHO Airport Field this season, and I believe this is our 5th game here at Charlottesville High School this season. So looking to see somebody get one into the gap, maybe hit it over. We'll see. If anybody's going to do it, Williams one of the main candidates.
The last time you said that Calvin Alexander hit a record-setting home run is this 0-1 pitch rocketed into left field, caught by the left fielder, and just like that, Williams is set down for the first out of the inning.
Couldn't hit the ball any harder, but it went right to Irigoyen out there in left. Would have been a gapper had it been about 35, 40 feet to the right side, or would have been down the line even. And so that had extra base hit written all over it, but just wasn't meant to be in that 4th inning to lead off.
Well, the power was definitely on display there. I mean, that ball was blistered off the bat there by Williams, but Irigoyen just in the right spot at the right time and puts it away for the first out of the inning. Now that brings up Hollis Porter. The first pitch to him runs inside for a ball. Porter grounded out to the first baseman to lead things off in the 2nd inning. Porter made some history the last time the Tom Sox were home, became the first player to walk 4 times since 2019, and he's 2 more balls away from working his first walk of the night as Dickey can't find the zone again on the 2-0 pitch. Dickey gets the sign once again. This one misses for a ball, and Porter ahead on the count 3-0.
Yeah, if you can count on Hollis Porter for anything, it's going to be that he draws a walk. He also had a walk on Sunday at Front Royal, and if he walks here, it'll be his 10th on the season.
Really has done a nice job getting on base. Came into tonight hitting .273. As you mentioned, the 9 walks, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs. The 3-1 from Dickey. That one misses for a ball, and Hollis Porter takes the trot down to first base for a walk.
Batting for your Tom Sox, the third baseman, number 5, Alex Boucher.
Now let's see what Boucher can do here. Runner on, 1 out, hit the hard single into left his first at bat, but got caught in between first and second base. Lyndon Coleman told him to go to second base on a ball into the gap, and nice job by De Los Santos out there in center field to get the ball in quickly. Boucher decided to retreat to first base, but the shortstop Pfeiffer gunned him down.
Dickey deals the 0-0 pitch. That one waved through by Boucher there. And you mentioned the aggressive nature there for Boucher and especially Lyndon Coleman. And that's a trend that we've seen the entire year just with the stolen base numbers and taking bigger leads. And on the rare time, it does come back to cost Charlottesville. The 0-1 from Dickey to Boucher. That one, the left-hander's batter's box for a ball. Boucher had a lot of success at Old Dominion this year. 299, 11 home runs, 45 RBIs, 2 triples. Really doing a lot of everything as Dickey pours this one right into the strike zone. He's ahead on the count 1-2.
Really the only weakness to his game offensively this year with ODU was the strikeouts. Struck out 66 times in 52 games and looking to avoid a K right here.
Dickey gets a sign from his catcher, Hooks, and deals the 1-2 pitch. Goes with the breaking ball. Can't clip the top of the strike zone, and Boucher, it works. It's 2-2. Hollis Porter standing on first base after he drew the walk. Charlottesville still trails 1-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. Matt Dickey in his 4th inning of work so far for the Express. Dickey deals this one, popped well out of play.
That foul ball was sponsored by Greenwood.
Still waiting to see the Tom Sox put together back-to-back base runners here in this game. They've had a base runner in each inning, had the hit by pitch for Tate in the first, triple for Alvarez in the third, and you had Boucher with the double, or excuse me, would have been the double, but the single in the second.
Dickey checks on Porter over there at first base. Porter getting back in time, but the big threat for Charlottesville was in that third inning after Salvi Alvarez hit the one-out triple and was standing on third base. Justin Thomas drew a walk, stole second base, but Josh Tate unable to deliver, striking out to end the top of the third. Boucher once again pops this one well out of play down the first base line, and a big battle brewing between Boucher and Dickey here. And Nathan, we've seen this a lot from a lot of Tom Sox hitters across the season, and this is a good sign for Boucher, working deep in accounts and fouling off some tough pitches.
Yeah, it's what you got to do with 2 strikes. Choke up on the bat, find a way to put the ball in play, and that's exactly the mindset Boucher's taken in this AB.
Dickey's 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss there for Alex Boucher as Matt Dickey gets a crucial second strikeout and second out here in the bottom of the fourth.
That's exactly what Boucher struggled with this year in his freshman campaign at ODU. The strikeout, mentioned it during the AB, that's first strikeout of the season for him in the VBL, had 66 with ODU, and still no consecutive base runners for the Tom Sox in this game.
Dickey not really known to be a strikeout pitcher, just 6 in 10 innings as he gets Connor Hinks to wave through a fastball to begin this at-bat, but 6 strikeouts in 10 innings so far this summer, 44 in 53 innings at Emmanuel College. Hinks flew out in his first at-bat and now watches the 0-1 pitch bounce in the dirt, and a nice block by the catcher, Ty Hooks, to keep that in front as Hollis Porter stays over there at first base.
Hinks did not get a lot of time with Notre Dame this year, but a .478 on base percentage coming into this game today. He's been finding ways to get on base. He's been getting walked a lot, also gotten hit a couple times as well.
That pitch gets away from the catcher. Hinks taking off for second is Hollis Porter, so he advances on the wild pitch, and Charlottesville has a runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
But going back to Hinks, he doesn't really have the power numbers. He's going to single his way for an average and just to keep getting those RBI, but only slugging .286 on the season thus far with the Tom Sox. But like I said, going to get on base, has a 5-game on base streak entering today.
And now taking off for third is Hollis Porter, and Dickey throws over, and now Porter will go back to second as there appears to be some confusion as I don't think play was set, and Porter just took off for third, and now he's going to take the slow jog back to second.
Would have been the third out of the inning if ball was in play. I'm not really sure what happened there.
I don't think the ball was in play yet, so Porter just took off for third, trying to catch the Express sleeping, and play hadn't begun yet. This one chopped on the ground by Hinks, fielded by the first baseman. Smith takes it easily to the bag, and just like that, Charlottesville is set down for the third out of the inning. Hollis Porter stranded on second base as the Express still lead 1-0 as we head to the top of the fifth. Stay tuned for more action right here on Tom Sox TV. For the second time tonight, head coach Lyndon Coleman calls upon his bullpen, the new pitcher for Charlottesville, David Utagawa here, and making his first appearance, donning the blue and green.
Yeah, David, a right-hander from Northwestern. He's from Phoenix, Arizona originally. He made 15 appearances this year with the Wildcats. Gave up a 6.23 ERA in 26 innings.
His first pitch blooped to the left field by the DH Logan Vaughn, and one pitch and leadoff single for the Express.
No, it's not great to start your outing. First pitch hit, but Utagawa has a lot of experience with Northwestern. This was his third year with the Wildcats, pitching in the Big Ten. He's faced a lot of tough opponents over the years. He's faced a lot of adversity. If you're familiar with the Northwestern baseball program this year, a lot of change after the second week of the season. They started 0-6, had a couple coaches on their coaching staff and their director of operations leave the program just the second week of the season. Team only finished with 10 wins, so Utagawa's faced a lot of adversity this season already in his collegiate season, so just looking to get back to winning ways and get some more innings here with Charlottesville.
Utagawa with Northwestern this past year, 0-2 with a 6.23 ERA and 26 innings of work. Did start two games as the 1-0 pitch, that one skied deep into center field. Backtracking is Justin Thomas, and he makes the catch for a loud first out of the inning.
Utagawa's got the two-seam, four-seam combo, also throws a changeup and a slider as well.
It's always good to see players from the Big Ten make their way down to Charlottesville.
Broadcasters, players, it's whenever you can get the Big Ten, it's a good sign.
Big Ten is really a good conference. So, joins Drew Jones from Ohio State as Utagawa attempts to pick off move on Logan Vaughn.
Grant Comstock, another Northwestern right-hander who will be making his Tom Sox debut likely within the week. Also on this.
Now leadoff hitter Ty Hooks digs in and watches the first pitch right across the plate for a strike. Hooks on the day singled to lead off the contest and later hit a sacrifice fly, advancing Wyatt Piper over the third base. Utagawa's 0-1 pitch nabs the corner after a filthy breaking pitch, getting Hooks to back out of the way, and that one clips the inside corner. Now he's ahead on the count 0-2.
Utagawa's his slider is his best pitch, and he's not afraid to throw it inside. He's not afraid to challenge you over the middle of the plate with it, as you saw right there.
Utagawa trying to keep an eye on Vaughn, and that one gets past the first baseman in Williams. Taking off for second is Vaughn. He is in there standing, and a couple of errant throws on some pickoffs tonight.
Yeah, you never want to see the errant throw on the pickoff. It's one of the things you try to avoid when throwing over. It's really difficult to go facing towards the mound and then over to first base. Pitchers practice it all the time, but sometimes you just try to get that throw in a perfect spot to apply the tag right by the base, and it just spikes on you sometimes, and that's exactly what happened right there.
The double play opportunity is no more. Utagawa's 0-2 pitch doesn't get Hooks to expand his zone. Utagawa working with the catcher, Salvi Alvarez. Now Pearson gets the sign that he likes. His 1-2 pitch gets behind Alvarez, taking off for third, and there's no throw from Alvarez as Logan Vaughn is in there at third base and just 90 feet away from extending the Strasburg lead to 2-0.
Here's Strasburg. Now you really have to execute on this opportunity. You get the gift on the error by Utagawa, and now the third base on the wild pitch.
Now the Tom Sox will bring the infield in as Utagawa's 2-2 pitch misses for a ball, and Hooks goes from 0-2 to 3-2 here with one out in the top of the fifth. The 3-2. Chopped on the ground, fielded by the second baseman Hinks, looks back the runner on third, makes the easy toss over to the first baseman Williams, and Utagawa gets out hooked for the second out of the inning.
That's how you execute with the infield in right there. A ball on a two-hop to Hinks at second base. Vaughn thought about it. He took a couple steps towards home plate, knew he wouldn't have had a chance with Hinks having a good arm at second base, and now you can put the infield back, keep the third baseman in to keep him level with the runner in case there's a soft ground ball to the third baseman, and now you can play a little bit more relaxed defensively.
Now it's Jaden Davis taking in as he watches the first pitch in there for a strike. Davis on the night, 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI ground out in the first and third innings. Utagawa comes set, working out of the stretch here with Vaughn on third base. This one once again chopped on the ground to the second baseman. Higgs makes a throw over to first base, and an excellent job by David Utagawa to strand Logan Vaughn on third base. The Tom Sox still trail 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the fifth here in Charlottesville.
Leading off for your Tom Sox left fielder number
David
19.
Wiley set to lead things off for Charlottesville in the bottom of the fifth. The starter for the Express, Matt Dickey, still out here tonight, and he's pitched extremely well, really limiting the Tom Sock hitters. Dickey's 0-0 pitch runs in the left-handed hitter's batter's box for a ball. Wiley on the night, 0 for 1, popped up to the shortstop in the third inning, and this one rocketed into left field, just evading the grasp of the shortstop Pfeiffer, and David Wiley is on with a leadoff single in the bottom of the fifth.
Keeping that on-base streak going that he's built himself here over the first couple games, make that 4 now in a row for him to begin his Tom Sock season, 4 for 12 on the season as well, up that average to .333.
He's really been impressive so far, and in his debut, went 2 for 3, scored 3 runs, stole 2 bases, and he's really provided a lot of versatility for Lyndon Coleman in the field, and offensively he's swinging a hot bat to begin his Charlottesville career. Now it's Salvi Alvarez in his second at-bat in a Tom Sock uniform, but before the first pitch to him, Dickey throws back on Wiley.
Alvarez, of course, had that triple over Jacob Friend in right field back in that third inning that put him on third base with just 1 out, but he was stranded there after the pop out for Edwards in foul territory and then the strikeout to end the inning for Josh Tate.
Dickey once again with another pickoff move over to first base on Wiley. Wiley with 4 stolen bases so far this season in just 3 games. Dickey comes set and deals the 0-0 pitch. That one lined right to the second baseman. Throw back to first base in time for the double play. An excellent catch there by Jaden Davis, who quickly fires back to Smith at first base. And just like that, 2 outs are set down for the Tom Sox.
And again, just some of that unfortunate baseball. But you look back at the second inning when Boucher thought he could go first to second. He gets picked off at first base. And then right there, Wiley just got caught taking a secondary lead. The ball snuck up on Davis quick enough to where he was able to throw to first and get that second out, no problem. Nothing Wiley could have done there, really.
No, a hard-hit ball for Salvi Alvarez, and if you could take an encouraging sign away from a double play, it would be that Salvi Alvarez has hit 2 lasers tonight, as now it's Kyle Edwards quickly down to the count 0-2, but Alvarez in his Charlottesville debut tripled and lined out hard into a double play, but 2 really quality swings from the starting catcher. Edwards tonight 0 for 1, popped up to the first baseman in the bottom of the third. Now the 0-2 pitch to him, skies this one down the right field line, giving chase is Friend. That one will bounce foul and out of play.
That foul ball was sponsored by Greenwood Home.
Kyle started the season up in about the 375 range with his batting average. It's down to in the 240s now, and he just really mentioned in his first at-bat just hasn't had the best of luck as of late. He'll continue to get on base, but just really hasn't gotten the ball to fall in about a week.
The 0-2 pitch from Dickey, he loses a grip on that pitch and also loses his hat in the process, and Edwards now still down on the count 1-2.
Into that pitch.
Tried to go with the breaking ball, but didn't break too much and stumbled off the mound. But now Dickey, the 1-2 pitch with 2 outs. That one bounces in the dirt, blocked out in front by the catcher Hooks. I mentioned though the struggles for Kyle Edwards, and he was hitting at the top of the lineup, hitting second and contributing, getting on base, moving the lineup up, but just falling on hard times. This is a 2-2 pitch from Dickey. This one, once again, a sky down the right field line, and out of play.
That foul ball was sponsored by quarterback and Trust.
And it's not like he's not getting on base, though. He has a 6-game on base streak. He's walked 7 times this year, a 372 on base percentage. And his numbers aren't bad at all. 9 for 37 entering this at bat. He scored 9 times. He has 3 extra base hits. Like I said, he's hitting the ball well. Just sometimes you struggle with getting the ball to hit the green grass, and that's been the problem lately for Kyle.
The 2-2 from Dickey once again bounces in the dirt and past the catcher Hooks for a ball. And now Edwards has worked it to a 3-2 count here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Charlottesville back in this game as they still trail 1-0 and look to generate some momentum and get more runners on base against Dickey. 3-2. That one laced into center field, giving chase is the right fielder Friend, and he puts third out of the inning. Goes 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the 5th, and now we head to the top of the 6th with the Express still leading 1-0. Strasburg leads 1-0 here to start off the top of the 6th, leading things off for the Express, Johander Irigoyen. And Irigoyen so far is one of the top hitters in the VBL, but has really been limited 0 for 2 with a pop-up and a strikeout.
Yeah, that's what you have to do against the top guys in the lineup, get them out and get them out quickly, and that's what Bloom did in his 2 plate appearances against him, and he skipped Egger, and now he's going to face Utagawa.
Utagawa had an impressive first inning here in Charlottesville as the first pitch into Irigoyen, waved through and missed.
Utagawa is definitely going to be a 2 or 3 inning guy for this Charlottesville team this year, has plenty of deep inning experience with Northwestern. A couple of starts in each of the last 2 years.
2 starts this past season, like you mentioned, and now he deals the 0-1 pitch. That one laced back up the middle. Ranging over is the shortstop, Edwards. Fires over to first base in time for the out. A rangy play by the shortstop, Kyle Edwards, to set down Irigoyen for the first out of the inning.
Kyle may be having his struggles at the plate, but one thing you can always count on is his reliable defense, because he has so much range going from both left to right, either side. That ball was hit directly up the middle, and Kyle, from traditional straight-up shortstop, that ball and make an easy throw for out number 1.
Edwards fielded at a 971 clip last year in Charlottesville and has continued that in 2023. Digging in now is the first baseman, Mitchell Smith, as he has watched the first 2 pitches from Utagawa miss for a ball. Smith on the day 0 for 2, flew out to center field in the first inning, popped up to the first baseman in the 4th inning. Utagawa finds a strike zone here, clipping the inside portion of the plate. The 2-1 from Utagawa loses a handle on the slider, and that one clips Mitchell Smith as he takes a trot down to first base after getting plunked by that pitch.
Plunked, grazed, tomato.
It's the 4th time this season he's been hit by a pitch, and I mean, it's another way to get on. He's hitting 300, and definitely, I mean, when working, getting hit by a pitch, anytime that you can get on base, you get on base.
Exactly.
Now it's Jacob Friend digging in here. The 0-0 pitch from Utagawa misses for a ball well outside.
Friend grounded out to Boucher back in the 1st and then drew a walk in the 4th. Also stole second base.
Utagawa checks back on the runner in Smith. Smith does have a stolen base on the season. Utagawa gets a sign from his catcher, Alvarez, and deals the 1-0 pitch. That one just misses the zone there, and Friend is up on the count 2-0.
Now went right off the plate. Utagawa tried to paint the outside corner with that 2-seam fastball. He's got a lot of run on it.
Friend listed as a catcher on the Express roster, but playing right field tonight as Utagawa gets him to wave through a fastball here to make the count 2-1.
You'll see a lot of catchers also be a hybrid first baseman as well, in addition to doing some DHing just to keep the legs fresh. But a lot of times you don't see them actually play the outfield. Sometimes they have outfield versatility, but they don't get a lot of chances in the outfield. But Friend's getting a chance tonight, and did have that one blunder on the Alvarez triple where he just tripped, but really complete ball player.
The Express have Ty Hooks, Jacob Friend, and Logan Vaughn all listed as catchers. All 3 are playing tonight, and all 3 are one of their better hitters as Utagawa once again checks back Smith on first base. So when you can get 3 of your top hitters who all play the same position in the lineup, it's going to be beneficial as this one rocketed deep into center field. Back to the track, to the wall is Thomas, and this one is gone. Jacob Friend delivers a 2-run bomb here in the top of the 6th as the Strasburg Express now lead 3-0.
Well, I was waiting for that first home run of the season here at Charlottesville High School, and there it is. Jacob Friend hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark, 365 out there in center. And, man, he demolished that baseball well up onto the hill out there in center field. And Strasburg taking advantage of the base runners. Charlottesville hasn't been able to do that tonight. Strasburg's had a lot of chances early in innings, and right there, after the first out, they take advantage of the hit by pitch, and Friend drives in that base runner, and now a 3-run cushion for the Express.
Home run number 1 for Jacob Friend this year, and that ball was absolutely tattooed to the deepest part of the ballpark, and now that brings up Joe De Los Santos, who he's quickly up in the count 2-0. You mentioned the home run ball. Last time it worked for Charlottesville. This time it goes not in the Tom Sox favor, and it works for the Express as De Los Santos pops this one well out of play down the first base line. Now after giving up the 2-run homer for Utagawa, this is a crucial part of the order not to let this snowball and continue to pile up on him and get some outs and get back into the dugout.
And this was a similar spot that the Tom Sox started to have things fall apart on Sunday night when Jaden Anderson for Front Royal hit a grand slam in the bottom of the 5th inning, and that's when the floodgates really opened. It was a 4-2 game at the time, and then the grand slam made it 8-2, and there was just no coming back for Charlottesville after that as Utagawa hits another one.
The second hit by pitch for Utagawa in this inning, and second in 3 batters. As now momentum is starting to build for the Express here in the top of the 6th as they have a 3-0 lead. Now that brings up the 7-hole hitter and third baseman Michael O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy on the night 0 for 1, did walk in the 2nd inning and flew out in the 4th. De Los Santos fakes the stolen base attempt, now will retreat back to first base as Alvarez blocks the low throw in front of home plate. Utagawa comes set. Now deals the 1-0. This one lifted down the left field line and out of play.
Double play ball would be big here for Utagawa. He's really had a little bit of trouble finding the zone, and when he did find the zone, Friend took him deep. So if he's able to keep the ball down, get a ground ball to Hinks or Edwards up the middle, they will turn the double play and end this inning.
1-1 pitch. Outside for a ball. As O'Shaughnessy up in the count 2-1. After that pitch, a couple of people in the Tom Sox dugout wanted that call. You could hear a little chirps going back to the home plate umpire.
Yeah, you could definitely tell the ball is just off the plate. Hard to tell from our vantage point where the ball is.
De Los Santos taking off for second base, but O'Shaughnessy rips this one into right field. The throw comes into the infield, but cut off as Joe De Los Santos steamrolls into third base, and just like that, the Express have runners on the corners still with 1 out.
And that's how you execute the hit and run to perfection right there. Runner takes off, you hit the ball behind the runner, easily allowing De Los Santos to go from first to third, and now you got runners on the corners. Double play ball still in play. But a nice call there by the Strasburg staff.
And we'll have a timeout here as the Express just talking things over here with runners on the corners and 1 out. 2 have already come in this inning after the 2-run home run by Jacob Friend. The other run came across in the top of the 3rd after Jaden Davis hit a RBI groundout. That's been all the runs here tonight. Charlottesville still looking to push across its first run here. Struggled hitting the ball tonight, really not building a whole lot of momentum, and it seems like the Tom Sox have struggled whenever it's at home.
Yeah, absolutely. The Tom Sox 4-1 on the road to start this season, just 1-3 here at home, and we've been trying to dissect what the disconnect has been, whether it's the road or the home games for Charlottesville, and there really just hasn't been a clear-cut answer. But once again, Tom Sox on the ropes here at home.
Runners on the corners, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Now it's Logan Vaughn. The first pitch misses inside for a ball. Vaughn on the day, 1 for 2. Grounded into a double play, an inning-ending double play in the 2nd, and singled in the 5th. The 1-0 pitch. Rocketed up the middle, nabbed there by Edwards, flipped to Hinks over at 2nd. The long throw over to first base, not in time to get Vaughn. De Los Santos comes in to score, and the Express now lead 4-0.
Man, good thing for Edwards' range, Russ. That's another base hit right up the middle on a one-hop. Double play depth for Edwards. He's able to snare that ball into his glove. Hinks just tough angle to get over to second base, but nice transition, stepping on the bag and throwing to first base seamlessly, but just too quick was Vaughn and allowed De Los Santos to come home to score.
Now it's Wyatt Pfeiffer as he waves through the first pitch as Udagawa is up on the count 0-1. Pfeiffer on the day, also 1 for 2, singled in the 3rd, later came around to score after Davis's RBI ground out and flew out in the 5th. Another pickoff move from Udagawa to keep O'Shaughnessy over there on first base. Udagawa gets a sign from Alvarez. Checks the runner and now will pick off. Once again, the throw gets behind Williams over there at first base. Motoring into second base is Michael O'Shaughnessy, and he moves into scoring position with 2 outs.
Udagawa made a bad throw with Vaughn on first base in the 5th inning, and now here in the 6th inning, he makes a good throw, just dropped by Williams over there at first.
Udagawa pickoff moves tonight is now Vaughn in scoring position here, and they're going to call a block on Udagawa here, and now Vaughn trots 90 feet further down the line and is just 90 feet away from bringing home the 5th run of the game. This next pitch chopped on the ground, fielded by Boucher over there at 3rd. His throw bounces in the dirt and gets past Williams over there at first base. Pfeiffer digging in for 2nd. He takes the turn, going into 3rd base. The long throw just nearly not in time as Williams with a laser over to Boucher over there at 3rd, but getting in there is Wyatt Pfeiffer.
Just floodgates have started to open. Things are starting to unravel for Charlottesville here in this top half of the 6th inning. The error on the pickoff attempt, the balk, and then the throwing error by Boucher over there at 3rd base. Just really rough back-to-back-to-back stretch there for Udagawa and this team.
Udagawa trying to get out of a nightmare inning after 4 runs have come across for the Express as his first pitch to Ty Hooks misses for a ball.
Just been the one inning for Charlottesville a lot this year that's been a kryptonite. And if they can get back to what they were doing the first week, just limiting those innings, first couple weeks they're getting those outs there in those critical situations, not throwing the ball away, not dropping the ball, not allowing runners to advance on balks. But now you can tell there's a trend back-to-back games where it just in the middle of the game hit this wall. Pitching starts to falter a little bit. The defense starts to falter a little bit as well. And it was a 6th spot in the 5th on Sunday, now a 4th spot in the 6th tonight.
Seems like those middle innings really have not been in Charlottesville's favor as the offense has struggled all night. It's not the spot that you want to be in if you're Lyndon Coleman's squad, but Udagawa 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. His 1-2 pitch runs too far inside for a ball, nearly hitting Ty Hooks. Hooks on the day, singled in the 1st inning, sacrifice a fly in the 3rd, and grounded out in the 5th. Udagawa now comes set, his 2-2 pitch, lined right back into the fence behind home plate.
Looks the 8th batter of the inning for Strasburg. They all started out with a ground out for Irigoyen, and then 5 straight base runners, and then the error just now for Piper.
And Utagawa gets hooked to wave through an off-speed pitch, and that comes to a close. Is the top of the 6th, but not before the Express explode for 4 runs in this inning and take a 5-0 lead heading into the bottom of the 6th. Stay tuned for more action right here on Tom Sox TV. Tom Sox set to lead off the bottom of the 6th with its top of the order, Justin Thomas, Josh Tate, and Derek Williams. I'm Alex Rocco, joined alongside by Nathan Schwartz. Tom Sox trail 5-0 here in the bottom of the 6th as the new pitcher, Nick Lachey, in on the mound, his 3rd appearance on the season. Lachey with a 6.75 ERA coming into tonight. The 0-1 pitch. This is low for a ball.
Junior lefty from play player with the Tribe. He hit 250 and 88 at-bats this year. Also had a 3 flat ERA over 27 innings. So one of the more successful players on that William & Mary team this year. He last appeared a week ago today against Woodstock. He hit 4 runs in 3 1/4 innings on 8 hits.
Lachey's 2-1 offering. This is outside for a ball, and Justin Thomas in the driver's seat up 3-1 the count. We'll just take a glance at Lachey's stats. One stat that jumps out is his 9 strikeouts as he gets Thomas to wave through a pitch there, and it makes the count full. 9 strikeouts in just 5 1/3 innings.
Also giving up a 348 average to opposing hitters.
3-2 from Lachey. This is low and in the dirt, and Justin Thomas works a leadoff walk.
Second straight inning for Charlottesville, but they've had the leadoff man on, and they're going to start to need some guys to get on base consistently and just extend this inning down by 5.
Thomas walked in his last at-bat, but later steals second base. Stolen base could be an option as Josh Tate digs in, instantly fouls the first pitch back behind home plate. Tate on the night, 0 for 1, was hit by a pitch in the first inning and struck out swinging to end the 3rd inning that had 2 runners in scoring position for Charlottesville. And Justin Thomas Thomas gets caught and nearly gets picked off. There's Lachey, the lefty. Confused. Thomas was late getting back to the bag, but just nearly gets back in time.
One thing the Tom Sox can't afford is to have more base runners get thrown out.
Lachey's 0-1 pitch nabs the inside part of the plate, and Josh Tate is quickly down 0-2. Lachey gets a sign from Hooks. His 0-2 pitch gets Josh Tate swinging. Second strikeout of the evening for Josh Tate, and that's the first out here in the bottom of the sixth.
Tate struck out now 11 times on the season as being the 10th game overall at 9 coming in. Just isn't necessarily seeing the ball too well tonight. It's been a rough couple of games for him.
Now it's the three-hole hitter, Derek Williams. Williams 0 for 2, hit a rocket line out in his last at-bat. Lachey, his 0-0 offering, gets Williams to expand his zone. It's a big spot for Charlottesville. We talked about the offense really not being there when they're at home. Lost in its last game at home against Percival 8-2. As another pickoff move from Lachey over to Smith at first base. Thomas back in there standing up. But we've seen a lot of times where Charlottesville's played at home. They've only scored 1 run, 2 runs. Really haven't seen these big offensive explosions that we've seen on the road. Lachey once again keeps a close eye on Thomas over there at first base. A lot of pickoff moves tonight. Charlottesville not having success, throwing a couple past Williams over there at first base. Lachey hoping not to fall victim to an errant throw. Lachey's 0-1 pitch to Williams. Once again, a big cut there from the first baseman, who comes up with nothing but air.
Yeah, a lot of swings and misses for Lachey here to begin his outing. It's really just been that fastball in the outer part of the plate. Tate and Williams haven't been able to catch up to it.
Lachey gets a sign from Hooks. Now comes set and deals. Thomas taking off. That one, at least in a center field for a single. Thomas round second. He's into third base, standing up, and the ball gets past the second baseman. Williams fakes going to second, and will just retreat back to first base. But runners on the corners here with 1 out after the rocket single by Derek Williams.
And finally, another opportunity here for Charlottesville at best chance since the 3rd inning when they had this same situation. Runners on the corners had 2 outs in the 3rd inning. When that was the case, now they have 1 out with Hollis Porter. Never mind Sergio Rivera coming to the plate, pinch hitting for Hollis Porter.
Lyndon Coleman calls on Sergio Rivera. Could be something to do. Didn't want the lefty-lefty matchup with Porter versus Lachey. So it's Sergio Rivera digging in. Rivera hitting .292 on the season in 7 games. Rivera drops down a bunt. Coming home is Thomas. Fielded by the pitcher Lachey. Makes a throw over to first base. And that gets beat past Smith. Coming home is Williams. Rivera will stay on second base after the bunt single that was thrown errantly by Lachey. And just like that, Charlottesville is only down 5-2.
That's how you get a jump start to this offense. Sometimes all it takes is a perfectly placed bunt. And maybe that's exactly what Lyndon Coleman brought in Sergio Rivera to do, just get the safety squeeze, but he decides to bunt for the hit, gets it way down the third base line. Perfect placement, would have beaten out the throw regardless, so it's going to go down as an RBI single in the book. And then on the E1, moving Rivera over to second base and having Williams come around to score.
Chop to the shortstop Pfeiffer is Alex Boucher, and he's quickly retired for the second out of the inning. Advancing to third base is Rivera on the throw. But a really good job by Rivera, wasting no time coming in off the bench, dropping the bunt down. And another factor in that whole entire sequence was the speed for the first baseman Derek Williams scoring from first base.
Absolutely, going from first to home on a bunt on the infield, rarely see that. But that ball really just got away from Smith over at first base and kept on rolling into the Charlottesville bullpen, which allowed Williams to go from first to home.
Now another pinch hitter for the Tom Sox as it's Bryce Martinez digging in here for Connor Hinks. Could definitely be a lefty-lefty matchup as once again Hinks another lefty for the Tom Sox, but Lyndon Coleman elects to go with Bryce Martinez, who fouls this one
on base and get some hits together, you got to go to the bench. A lot of guys on this Tom Sox team very capable of putting the ball in play, and Bryce Martinez has been red hot to start his Tom Sox career, no different.
Martinez skies this one out of play down the first baseline. You mentioned him being red hot, hitting 300 in 3 games coming into today. 3 RBIs, stole 4 bases, really done a nice job contributing early on. Shea gets the sign from his catcher, Hooks. Now comes set, deals the 1-2 pitch. In there for strike 3. Bryce Martinez is caught looking, but not before the Tom Sox scratch across 2 runs after the RBI bunt single by Sergio Rivera, and after a circus play, Charlottesville only trails by 3 runs as we head to the top of the 7th. Stay tuned for more action right here on Tom Sox TV. Jaden Davis, the leadoff hitter here for the Express to begin the 7th inning. And a couple of defensive changes for the Tom Sox. Sergio Rivera, who pinched hit, is taking over in left field. Moving from left field to right field is David Wiley. And coming in at second base is Bryce Martinez for Connor Hinks.
Also have a new arm on the mound. Liam Best replaces Utagawa out on the mound. Utagawa's final line, 2 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. Did not walk a batter and struck out 1. And now Liam Best on for his 3rd appearance of the season.
Best has looked really good in his first 2 appearances, 5 innings, and has only allowed 1 earned run. Is just like that. Davis is on with a 4-pitch walk, but so far, Best, just the 4th walk he's allowed this season, a 1.80 ERA, 6 strikeouts, and did pick up a win.
It was that Woodstock appearance in which he gave up the run but still kept the team in the ball game. A lot of trouble, another one of those big innings in the middle for Woodstock that the pitching staff for Charlottesville gave up, but Best came in, got the win, went 3 innings, only gave up the 1 earned run on 4 hits and struck out 5 batters. So with Charlottesville was up 10-1 in that game, it was all the way back to 10-8. And then the fact that Best was able to keep the River Bandits at bay in those middle innings is the real reason why Charlottesville was able to hang on in that ball game.
Now it's Yohander Irigoyen, who's down on the count 0-1. The next pitch from Best spiked in the dirt but blocked in front by the catcher Salvi Alvarez. Irigoyen tonight 0 for 3, popped up, struck out, and grounded out tonight. Best now comes set, deals the 1-1 pitch. That one waved through by Irigoyen, and Best ahead in the count 1-2. Best working out of the stretch here. Now comes set, deals the 1-2 pitch, goes with the off-speed pitch. Appeal down to the umpire, doesn't get the call on the check swing from Irigoyen. Now the count moves to 2-2.
Irigoyen's had some trouble today at the plate, and if you're Best, you got to remember this is the number 3 hitter in the lineup. Even though he struggled, if you give him the wrong pitch, he could send it a long way.
Well, he's not going to do that here as Liam Best blows a pitch right by him. Words are hard sometimes, Nathan, you know.
Blessed.
Yeah, Liam is blessed out on the mound as Irigoyen is set down for the 4th time tonight, his 2nd strikeout here. That is the first out of the inning. Now it's the cleanup hitter Mitchell Smith playing first base tonight. Best 0-0 pitch. That one misses for a ball. Smith tonight 0 for 2. Did come around on a hit by pitch in the top of the 6th. The 1-0 from Best. Low.
Really trying to pump in that fastball, it seems. Really trying to be effective with that, get that established first before he tries to work around with the off speed.
Best has typically had control of his fastball. 2-0 once again spiked in the dirt for a ball. Smith ahead on the count 3-0. Davis the runner on first base after he led off the inning with a walk. The 3-0 from Best. A 4-pitch walk here to Mitchell Smith, and 2 walks have the Express threatening in the top of the 7th.
It's the free pass that continues to be an issue for Charlottesville. You look back to that 6th inning that we just had about 20 minutes ago. It was the hit by pitch, then the homer, then another hit by pitch, and then which that run came around to score on the RBI fielder's choice for Cade Parker, and now 2 walks here in this inning, and Lyndon Coleman's going to come out and have a talk with Best.
So as you mentioned, Nathan, Lyndon Coleman taking the stroll out to the mound, talking things over with Best, and this is a big spot. The offense finally brought across some runs, a 5-2 ball game, and you're starting to build some momentum. You can't allow one of your best relievers to falter and give those runs right back.
Absolutely. Get those 2 runs. They gift you a run with an error of their own, and so you really can't let that free run go away here in this top of the 7th inning. You're running out of outs to continue to try and get something going offensively. You've made some changes into the game, try to spark a jolt in the team. You can only make so many changes in a 9-inning baseball game, and Charlottesville, some of their best baseball has come in the 8th and 9th inning this year, especially at the plate in the 9th inning 2 of the last 3 games. So game is certainly not over till it's over, but you have to limit the damage until you get to that 9th inning.
So now it's Jacob Friend digging in. This is the first offering from Best outside. Friend tonight had the big blow in that 6th inning with a 2-run shot, made it a 3-0 game. The Express tacked on 2 more runs to close out that top of the 6th in a 4-run inning as Best finally finds the strike zone there and evens the count at 1-1, but that ball was absolutely tattooed by Friend.
Oh yeah, straight away center field, probably about 385 feet onto the hill out there in center, and with a wood bat to straightaway center, that is a bomb.
Best 1-1 pitch waved through there by Jacob Friend, and Liam Best is ahead on the count 1-2. The 1-2 offering from Best got him looking. A nasty breaking pitch there from Liam Best as Jacob Friend is set down for the second out of the inning.
He even crossed up Salvi Alvarez there behind home plate. He wasn't expecting that much break on that curveball for Best, and that's the working through the kinks of having not caught this guy before this game.
Now with 2 outs, it's Joe De Los Santos coming up, and this is a big spot here as De Los Santos, a known Tom Sock killer. Last year hit .473 with 3 home runs in 6 games. Let's see if he can continue the trend of beating on this Charlottesville pitching staff. The 0-0 pitch lined right back behind home plate into the fence. There wasn't a fence there. That ball was coming right for us.
Yeah. You know, it hit probably the equipment, gone right through the window and broken something, which would have been a nightmare scenario, but that's why they put the fence there, Alex.
It's always clutch to have a fence. The 0-1 offering to De Los Santos. Breaking pitch couldn't find the strike zone. 1-1 is the count. De Los Santos 0 for 1 tonight, walked in the second, flew out in the fourth, and was hit by a pitch and later came around to score in the sixth. 2 runners on here in the top of the seventh. Charlottesville still trails 5-2 as Best 1-1 offering misses high for a ball. Nice stop there by Salvi Alvarez.
Yeah, he's really settled in nicely, having to catch now 4 different guys, 4 guys he's never probably talked to before this game, let alone having to catch them and working through all different types of velocities and different types of movements on their pitches.
Best 2-1 pitch blows it past De Los Santos. Now Liam Best in a big spot here. 2 runners on, 2 outs, 2-2 count here in the top of the seventh. Best comes set. Deals the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. A beautiful breaking pitch there for Liam Best as he gets Friend and De Los Santos both victim to the strikeout as we head to the top of the seventh with Charlottesville still trailing 5-2.
Charlottesville 2.
After 2 crucial strikeouts to end last inning from Liam Best, Charlottesville was hoping to continue its momentum here in the bottom of the seventh, and leading things off, David Wiley, who quickly lines a pitch right back into the fence behind home plate.
Wiley tonight, he is 1 for 2. He singled back in the 5th, but was picked off after a line out for Salvi Alvarez. He also fouled out to shortstop Pfeiffer back in the third.
Nick Lachey out for another inning of work, and his 0-1 pitch, high for a ball. Charlottesville tacked on 2 runs last inning, but you really can't say that it was Lachey's fault. A lot of small ball, and both runs coming in across a bunt as Wiley skies this one high and deep down the right field line and well out of play. Now down in the count is Wiley at 1-2.
Only one of the 2 runs was earned. The run Thomas scored was earned when Williams came around on the E1. Might actually be earned with the error being on the pitcher.
Nick Lachey gets David Wiley to swing through a fastball there for the first out of the inning. Excellent velocity from Lachey. So he picks up his third strikeout of the contest.
Batting for your Tom Sox, the catcher, number 18, Salvi Alvarez.
Now digging in is Salvi Alvarez. Alvarez on the day, 1 for 2 with a triple and lined out into a double play in his last at-bat, but 2 really hard-hit balls. Let's see what he can do in at-bat number 3 as Lachey opens up the at-bat with a breaking pitch that crosses right over the heart of the zone. Next pitch from Lachey to Alvarez, misses for a ball. Next offering to Alvarez. Once again, it can't find the zone as he's ahead in the count 2-1.
Mentioned earlier, but Alvarez a really nice debut tonight. 1 for 2 to start. Had that triple that we mentioned a couple times now, and mentioned in the top half of this inning his work defensively, and that's such a tricky balance behind the plate, having to juggle this pitching staff, and it's a pitching staff you don't know that well. You're going to obviously get more comfortable as the weeks go by here in June and July, but to have the success he's had behind the plate over the first 7 innings, it's been pretty impressive to watch.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Lachey as Alvarez waves through a fastball. The 4th strikeout of the contest for Lachey, and just like that, 2 quick outs for the Tom Sox.
Number 4, Kyle Edwards.
It's been that fastball. Talked about it in the bottom of the 6th inning, but he's been keeping it off the plate.
Now digging in, the 9-hole hitter, Kyle Edwards. Edwards on the night 0 for 2 as that pitch nearly runs in and hits Edwards, but he backs out of the way. Lachey's really had command of that fastball and just blowing it by hitters early and often, as now he goes with the breaking pitch, and that one clips the outside portion of the plate. Count is now even at 1-1. Lachey comes set, his 1-1 offering, swing and a miss there by Edwards, and Lachey 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Lachey comes set, deals the 1-2 pitch. This one chopped on the ground to the second baseman. Davis gobbles it up. His throw over to the first baseman. Smith retires Kyle Edwards for the 3rd out of the inning. The Tom Sox go 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the 7th, as now we head to the top of the 8th with the score remaining 5-2. A night of debuts in Charlottesville continues as Jordan Little is set to make his Tom Sock debut. The right-handed pitcher from ECU set to square off against Michael O'Shaughnessy.
Little did not get a lot of time this year with ECU. Only made 4 appearances, went 2 1/3, gave up 5 earned runs on 9 hits. ERA approaching 20 in just those 4 appearances, but he can absolutely chuck it. Fastball tops out about 97. He's got draft potential. He, according to D1 Baseball, is the number 12 draft prospect in the AAC for the 2024 MLB draft, so likely that he gets more innings next year and is draft eligible, but with his kind of stuff, if he gets innings and does any type of good work in those innings, it's with his velocity where it's at right now, he's going to get drafted by some team.
Little pours in a 2-0 fastball that catches the zone, and like you mentioned, that fastball, you could just tell from that first pitch, has a lot of heat on it, and see if he could command it and find the zone. Did give up a run in every appearance at ECU and goes with the breaking pitch there, and O'Shaughnessy tips that right into the mitt of Alvarez. Now from 2-0 to 2-2 goes Michael O'Shaughnessy. Little, just with 5 appearances in 2 seasons at ECU, his 2-2 pitch tried to nab the outside part of the plate. Umpire does not give him the call, and the count goes to 3-2.
And he started to go on his strikeout trot around the mound, but had to quickly turn around. Now he's got to dial back in and pitch this full count.
Little working out of the windup, the 3-2 offering, swing and a miss. A blazing fastball blows it right past Michael O'Shaughnessy for the first strikeout for Jordan Little.
And that's where you see the potentials there for Little. If he's able to locate that fastball up and out to a left-handed batter, no shot, they're going to be able to catch up to it. And even though he struggled last year, or this past season, I should say, with ECU, he shoved last year with the Bethesda Big Train of the Cal Ripken Collegiate Baseball League out in Maryland and Northern Virginia. He went 2-1 in 22 1/3 innings, had a 0.80 ERA, and struck out 34 batters. So the potential is there. He's had success before in summer ball, so if he's able to equate those numbers out this year in Charlottesville, Lyndon Coleman and company might have found themselves a pitcher.
It would be a much-needed addition and an excellent addition to a bullpen, a pitching staff, as once again another 0-2 count here for Little is Cade Parker, who came on for Logan Vaughn earlier in this game. Parker hit into a fielder's choice in the 6th inning, now up for at-bat number 2, and is quickly down on the count 0-2. Little peering in for the sign from Alvarez. Seems to be a little bit of disconnection between the two. Now they agree on a pitch. Little's 0-2 offering. Got him looking. An excellent breaking pitch there from Jordan Little, and back-to-back strikeouts has the Tom Sox with 2 quick outs here in the top of the 8th.
Went to the fastball with 2 strikes to O'Shaughnessy, and then goes to the slider to Parker there with 2 strikes. So he's mixing in back and forth, and now Alvarez is going to go out and talk with Little and try and figure out the disconnect that you mentioned before, Alex.
Seemed like those two were just playing cat and mouse the entire time and just trying to figure out what pitch to throw, but figured out, and Little went to the breaking pitch there and had a lot of movement. And when you can blow a fastball that's coming in at 95, 96 miles an hour and then drop an off-speed pitch like that, you're going to have success for a long time out on the mound.
That's now 4 straight strikeouts for the Tom Sox pitchers. 5 strikeouts in the last 7 batters for Strasburg.
Digging in now is the shortstop and 9-hole hitter Wyatt Pfeiffer. Little's first pitch high and outside for a ball. Pfeiffer on the night singled in the 3rd inning, flew out in the 5th, and reached on an error by the 3rd baseman Alex Boucher in the 6th. Little's 1-0 offering waved through and missed by Pfeiffer. Little comes set and deals the 1-1 pitch. That one just misses Alvarez. Thought that one was a strike. Held his glove there for a little bit longer. Able to show the umpire a message that pitch was extremely close, but doesn't get the call.
And with the fastball and the slider that he has, if he's able to get a changeup on the outside part of the plate and really develop that pitch, no doubt he's going to go pretty early in next year's draft if he's able to get some more innings with the Pirates.
Well, you can really tell just by the fastball and the movement on the slider that why he's ranked so highly in the AAC. 12th rated player like you mentioned, Nathan, and you could tell he has all the potential and all the stuff to be a top pitcher in the 2024 draft. The 2-2 pitch to Pfeiffer. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night as Jordan Little strikes out all three hitters he faces here in the top of the eighth as the Charlottesville Tom Sox look to continue to climb their way back here in tonight's contest as they still trail 5-2. Stay tuned for an exciting finish right here on Tom Sox TV. Justin Thomas set to lead things off here in the top of the eighth as the Tom Sox still are behind 5-2. Nick Lachey working once again out on the bump, and he gets Thomas to wave through his first offering to begin the bottom of the eighth.
Good stat from a good friend David Argo, who fed the stat to us in between innings. 22 of the Tom Sox runs scored this season have come in the 7th, 8th, or the 9th inning.
22%.
So, 22%, not 22 runs. 22% of the runs. So, and it's the split goes 40 for the first 3 innings, 38 for the middle innings, and 22% for the final 3 innings. So it's the Tom Sox have been getting a lot of runners on base, just haven't been able to push those runners across in the later innings as they have been in the first 6 innings.
Well, Charlottesville's going to have to start to get runners on base, but it won't be Justin Thomas as he's set down looking after the strikeout from Nick Lachey.
It's the 5th strikeout for Lachey, the 4th in the last 6 batters.
Now digging in is Josh Tate, the DH tonight. It's the first offering from Lachey. It misses low for a ball. Tate on the evening, 2 strikeouts tonight. Was also hit by a pitch and caught stealing in the first inning. Lachey comes set, deals the 1-0 pitch. That one chopped on the ground. It takes a high hop over to the third baseman, O'Shaughnessy. Makes the routine play over to first base, and 2 quick outs for the Express to begin the bottom of the 8th.
Batting for your Tom Sox, the first baseman, number 20, Derek Williams.
Lachey has just been on a roll to start. He had that rough start to the 6th inning where he had the walk and the single and then the bunt single for Rivera, but has really settled in ever since that single with the error. He's retired 7 in a row, recorded 4 of his 5 strikeouts in those 7 batters, and the other 3 outs were all ground outs. So he's either not allowing contact, or if there is contact, it's going right into the ground.
We mentioned that he had a 6.75 ERA coming into tonight, but he has looked dominant so far on the mound. Strikeout stuff has been working all evening, and now he's set to face one of the more potent hitters in the Tom Sox lineup in Derek Williams, who grounds a ball down the third base line foul. Williams tonight ripped a single in his last at-bat, flew out and lined out in his other 2 ABs. Lachey comes set, deals the 1-1 pitch, nearly hits Williams as he ducks out of the way. Now Williams ahead on the count, 2-1. Lachey gets Williams to expand the zone there. He's 1 strike away from getting out of this inning for a second consecutive 1-2-3 inning.
And it continues to be that fastball. Whether it's on the outside corner, he's elevating it. He's just dotting it at every eye level and really keeping these Tom Sox hitters guessing.
The 2-2. Strike 3 called. Nick Lachey rings up Derek Williams on the inside fastball, and we head to the top of the 9th with the Tom Sox still down 5-2. Stay tuned for more right here on Tom Sox TV. Jordan Little out for inning number 2 here to start off the top of the 9th, and leading things off for the Express, the catcher and leadoff hitter, Ty Hooks. Little's first pitch, Hooks thought it was going to beam him, but that was a breaking pitch that had a lot of movement and sort of came back right behind home plate, but Alvarez couldn't glove that one down and in for a ball. Hooks on the night single to begin the game. Sac fly, grounded out, and struck out in his 4 plate appearances. Jordan Little, Nathan, was super impressive in his first inning of work.
Struck out the side, got O'Shaughnessy swinging, Parker looking, and Pfeiffer swinging again. And it's really just his command of all 3 of his pitches, the fastball, the changeup, and the slider. And he's putting it on each part of the plate. Fastball, really impressive to blow it by 94-95. And that slider, wicked movement.
Little with a big test here, facing the 1-2-3 hitters in the Strasburg lineup as he sends Hooks to the dirt, who does a push-up after nearly getting drilled by that fastball. Maybe saw his life flash before his eyes there with how hard Little's been throwing.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants when he gets back up from that. Just needs to shake off the fear of getting back into the box.
Yeah, with how fast Little has been throwing tonight, definitely do not want to get hit by one of those pitches. 3-1 is the count. Little deals. This one flied deep and well out of play. So from 3-0 to 3-2 here, Ty Hooks is looking to get on to begin this 9th inning.
And just has to throw the fastball over the plate. If these guys are making contact with it, they are way late.
Little cannot command that fastball, and Ty Hooks works a leadoff walk.
Standing for Strasburg, second baseman number 6, Jaden Davis.
But if you do leave it over the plate and they do connect on it, have a good swing path on it, it could go a long, long way.
We saw Jacob Friend take a fastball a long, long way earlier. Not a lot of home runs hit here at home for Charlottesville. Tom Sox have yet to hit a home run at their home field. The home run by Friend just a second as this one chopped on the ground to the third baseman. Boucher makes a throw over to second as Martinez can't turn the double play. There's the throw just late to the first baseman in Williams as Jaden Davis beats out the ground ball.
Yeah, a little bobble there for Boucher. I'd rather him have a better throw to second base than it be quick and have him throw it away into right field. Still got to get the one out, preserve the 3-run deficit in order to give your offense a chance, a better chance at least, to come back and tie this game or win it in the bottom half of the inning.
Now it's Yohander Irigoyen digging in, as actually it is a pinch hitter, and now it's Dakota Miller as Miller waves through a first pitch fastball from Little. Miller on the season, this is his 10th game played, hitting .258 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. The 0-1 can't find the strike zone is Little there. The count is even at 1 apiece.
Miller was 1 for 2 with a double against Waynesboro on Sunday. He's appeared in now every game for the Express, and it does have the ability to take the ball out of the yard.
The 1-1 pitch from Little. That one can't find the strike zone as once again another athletic stop by Alvarez behind the dish makes it a 2-1 count. We're going to get a pinch runner here for the Express as Jaden Davis comes off. That's Anthony LaSala. LaSala has 4 stolen bases this year. The 2-1 pitch once again can't find the strike zone as Little having a little bit of an issue commanding that fastball here is count 3-1 here to Miller. Stolen base could be an option here with LaSala. Doesn't take off here as Little blows a fastball right by Miller. The count goes to full. One out here in the top of the ninth. The Tom Sox still trail 5-2. LaSala on first base. He takes off for second. Alvarez's throw down. That one skips past Edwards and bounces into center field. Fielded by the center fielder, Justin Thomas. And just like that, Anthony LaSala scoots up to third base, and the Express have a runner on third with just two outs here in the top of the ninth.
Words are tricky sometimes.
The English language is very hard, and speaking is very confusing. There's a lot happening on that play. LaSala moves up 180 feet and now is just 90 feet away from making it a 6-2 ball game.
Some quick math for you there.
Hey, I may not be good with words, but I'm good with numbers. Only on a baseball diamond, though. Now it's Mitchell Smith, the cleanup hitter, and playing first base, digging in as he watches the first pitch go in there from a strike from Jordan Little. Little goes with the breaking pitch. That one can't find the strike zone. Now the count is even at 1-1. Mitchell has reached in his last 2 plate appearances, but was hit by a pitch and walked. Did come around to score after getting plunked. Little deals this one that skied well out of play down the first base line, and he's ahead on the count 1-2. Two outs here in the top of the ninth. 1-2 count here to Mitchell Smith. Jordan Little's 1-2 offering once again popped out of play, and 2 tough foul balls for Mitchell Smith here.
And again, right there, had the slider, tried to get him with the back door on the inside part of the plate. Left it a little too far over the plate, but still, with that velocity, Smith unable to get the bat head out in front.
Jordan Little looking for strikeout number 5 as once again another foul ball lifted deep down the right field line and out of play. Little gets a sign from his catcher Alvarez, comes set, and deals the 1-2 pitch. This one chopped on the ground, foul down the third base line. Nice battle brewing between Smith and Little here.
Absolutely. It's been the best at-bat we've seen against Little so far. He's really making Little work here. I think we had a broken bat there.
That's a big difference from the college to summer ball game. Wood bats to metal bats. See a lot more broken bats here.
Absolutely. When you have 95 running in on your hands and just catches what would be the handle of the aluminum bat, and it just may create a small mark, maybe dent, but here that's just going to splinter the bat into a couple pieces.
Smith gets a new piece of lumber. And now steps out. Little gets a sign from Alvarez. Now once again we're going to get another timeout here on the field. Little toes the rubber, gets a sign, comes set, and deals the 1-2 pitch. Fouled straight back behind home plate, so even a new piece of wood can't stop this battle from going between Smith and Little.
And he keeps trying to go back to that slider with the 2 strikes, located it on the inside, then went to the fastball, and then brought back outside there. Likely going to see another heater and try and keep it on the outside part of the plate.
Smith comes set and blows it right past Mitchell Smith, and exactly what you said, Nathan. Jordan Little goes back to the heater and records a strikeout to end the top of the ninth. We head to the bottom of the ninth with the Tom Sox still trailing by 3. Stay tuned to see if the Tom Sox have a rally in their bones and if they can capture their second win at home. Sergio Rivera set to lead off here in the bottom of the ninth as the first pitch from Nick Lachey finds the strike zone. Lachey going with the off-speed pitch, and he's really had command of all of his pitches here tonight.
Absolutely, whether it's been the fastball, the slider, she throws right there for a strike. It's just been dotting up the corners, and it's been that fastball with 2 strikes that he's really loved to go back to.
Shea pounds the zone here. 2 quick strikes to Sergio Rivera, who pinched hit earlier in this game and caused some chaos, reaching on a bunt single as he takes the 0-2 offering for a ball. Rivera came on, pinched hit for Hollis Porter, dropped down a bunt, and scored 2 runs, advanced to second on the throwing error from Lachey. Now let's see if Rivera can spark a ninth inning rally as he skies a pop-up well behind home plate. Lachey looking for the put-away pitch against Rivera here. Gets a sign from his catcher Hooks and now deals the 1-2 pitch. Misses outside for a ball. Lachey has worked back-to-back 1-2-3 innings here in the 7th and 8th after allowing those 2 runs in the 6th. Lachey now comes at his 2-2 offering, flied down the right field line and out of play.
Rivera, one of the few guys in this Tom Sox lineup putting together consistent at-bats to begin this season. Coming into the game in 7 games, 292 average, 7 for 24, 6 RBI, 6 walks, 725 OPS, 433 on base. It always seems like at that 9 spot he's found a way to get on base and then has plenty of speed, lead second on the team in 9 stolen bases entering the game. And you saw it right earlier in the game when he pinch hit for Hollis Porter when he laid that bunt down the first base side and beat it out.
Lachey comes set, deals the 3-2 pitch, misses high for a ball, or they're going to call it a punch-out as Sergio Rivera was halfway down the first base line. A late call from the home plate umpire, but he is set down on strikes for the first out of the bottom of the ninth. Not the most ideal way you want to start out the bottom of the ninth.
Absolutely not. Looked like a little up in the zone.
Now digging in is the third baseman, Alex Boucher. Boucher in his Tom Sox debut singled in the bottom of the second, but went too far around first base and got thrown out trying to come back. And after that, struck out and grounded out in his 2 other plate appearances as the first pitch to him. Can't find the strike zone from Lachey. The 1-0 offering waved through by Boucher, and the count is now even at 1-1. Boucher comes set, deals the 1-1 to Boucher, fouled right back into the fence behind home plate. He's quickly down 1-2. Boucher toes the rubber, gets a sign from his catcher Hooks. The 1-2. Skied it right to the first baseman, Smith, who makes the routine pop-up snag. And just like that, 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth, and the Tom Sox are down to their final out.
Another broken bat there. Heard that one right off of the plate. And now Bryce Martinez, the last hope for Charlottesville. He struck out looking in his first at-bat in the 6th.
Bryce Martinez trying to keep this game alive here with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth as the Tom Sox still trail 5-2. Martinez attempts to drop a bunt down, can't keep that one in fair territory as that one nearly bounces right to the Strasburg bench. Interesting decision to bunt with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, trailing by 3 runs.
I think you're just trying to get to Wiley and then Alvarez and see if something can happen. Just extend the inning in whatever way you can. It's now 10 in a row retired by Lachey. So whatever way you can get on base, you got to try it, even though you're against the ropes here. Now down to your final strike.
Martinez pops this one well out of play, and just like you said, Nathan, the Tom Sox down to their final strike here tonight. Lachey toes the rubber, comes set. His 0-2 pitch runs inside for a ball. This at-bat prolongs for another pitch. The 1-2 offering from Lachey, swing and a miss. Blows the fastball right by Bryce Martinez, and Nick Lachey was dominant all evening and fittingly records a punch-out for the final out of the game.
Just another blunder for Charlottesville here at home. Just can't seem to figure out a way to win here at their home field. They're now 1-4 at home this season. They dropped back down to 500 for the first time since they were 2-2 after 4 games. So it's been a rough stretch now for Charlottesville. They won 3 in a row after being 2-2, and then they've lost 5 they were 1-2, won 4 in a row. Now they've lost 3 in a row after being 5-2, and a chance to get back on track tomorrow night in Waynesboro. But it just seems like it's been the lack of offense that's really been hindering this team so far.
Well, Nathan, when you look at the scoreboard as the Tom Sox fall 5-2, 4 of the runs came in just 1 inning. It was that killer 5th inning for the Express. What allowed for them to have so much success in that 1 inning?
Absolutely. It was the home run for Jacob Friend that really set the tone for Strasburg offensively, and then you had the RBI fielder's choice for Cade Parker in that inning as well. And it's just hard to come back when you're giving up 4 runs in innings right in the middle of the game. We saw it against Woodstock. They were able to hang on to win that game, but then Sunday in Front Royal and tonight just couldn't come back from the big inning.
Well, it wasn't all negative tonight for the Tom Sox. Jordan Little pitched extremely well in his debut. What did you see from him?
Yeah, I saw a guy that did not get a lot of chances here in his collegiate season with ECU, and he absolutely came out here looking to make a statement, and he did. Punched out the first 3 guys he faced in the 8th, and then punched out Dakota Miller and Mitchell Smith to end his outing. 5 strikeouts, only faced 7 batters, and 2 scoreless innings for him. So I think he's going to be a big piece for this Tom Sox bullpen moving forward. Obviously, you have to rotate everybody in and get everybody their innings. But whenever Jordan Little pitches, scouts and Tom Sox fans need to pay attention.
Well, Nathan, tonight marks the first of 6 straight games for Charlottesville. Not the outcome that they were hoping for, but once again, they're back out on the road tomorrow at Waynesboro. What do they need to do to get back in the win column?
It's a bunch of things, but I think the big thing I'm going to hone in on is just get better at bats. Continue to put runners on base. Got a little bit away from the walk tonight. Got a little bit of aggressiveness early in counts. A lot of 1-2, 0-2 counts tonight, opposed to the 2-1 counts, 3-1 counts that they've been getting at the plate so far this season. And whether they're pressing at the plate, whether they're just not making contact, it's been an up and down problem the past couple games for them, and tonight it was mainly just not putting the ball in play that really hurt them. So just put the ball in play, good things will happen, and you go from there.
Charlottesville will look to snap its 3-game losing streak tomorrow as they travel to Waynesboro. That first pitch slated for 7 p.m. But that'll do it tonight for all of our coverage here in Charlottesville. For my broadcast partner Nathan Schwartz, I'm Alex Rocco. The Tom Sox fall tonight 5-2 against Strasburg. Thank you so much for spending part of your Tuesday night with us, and have a great rest of your evening.